I'll be sampling some of those tonight. We now talk to Dr. Paul Nyende of the School of Psychology at Makerere University to explain to us, what prompts a person to contemplate and carry out such a gruesome arson attack. Dr. Paul Nyende, good evening.
Good evening.
It's not a very good day, especially for the folks in Rakai, the parents there, and we are trying to get our heads around this.
Sure.
Of course, as things stand, from what police is telling us and the school management, it appears that this was an arson attack by students who were expelled for indiscipline. My first question would be, how do you get to, I don't know if you're a parent.
Yes, I am.
But I imagine it's important to discipline children.
Sure.
How do you get to do it in a setting like this? It is a school, some students will get out of hand and they will need to be called to order. How do you do it and yet avoid such a very unnecessary ramification?
I think usually before a problem like that occurs, there must be some kind of undercurrent and tension within the school. And problems have developed over time, and probably management has not been able to adequately assess the situation. It is always important to have your ears on the ground and also listen to the students' problems. Because frustration is often what leads to such problems. It might also be that the children, there has been a blanket kind of punishment given to a group, and yet there are a few who are innocent within that group who might feel very angry and want to revenge on administration. So I think counseling is also very important. Not just discipline, but it should be a counseling process where...
Is that generic counseling to all students, or you're looking out for particular students?
Yeah, to all students. And then
what do you tell them generally?
Yeah, I think one is that we need to develop a firm foundation of values in which our children should develop. They need to know what is right and what is wrong. They also need to realize that the teachers are there for them. And that the discipline...
What happens when they're not there for them? Well, I want to believe and give them a benefit of doubt. Much of the time they are, but we've had a few cases, where teachers either operate in a very high-handed totalitarian manner. Some teachers have been taken to police for caning children, some to near death and that kind of thing. And so you want to try and strike a balance. For
sure. Yes, we need to have properly trained teachers. And I think schools should develop a culture of mutual understanding. That is the teacher, administration, as well as the children as well. So children are often depressed, and especially adolescents. The boarding school kind of fires up this problem. There is a vacuum, that is parents have handed over the children to teachers, and teachers don't have adequate time. And therefore there is a vacuum in between there. We have a feeling that teachers are better able to handle these, but they are overwhelmed by numbers. And sometimes they are not also very well trained to meet the challenge. So quite a lot of times you have conflict between the teachers and the students. And the outcome is something like arson, which has become rampant. But also I think there's a lot of exposure. The more the reports come out in the media, the more we give children behavioral examples to deal with their frustration. So it's more likely to keep increasing. I think Uganda, we are reporting arson in schools. United States reports shootings.
You actually talk about that, and I'm trying to understand why it's happening a lot more nowadays. In the US, there's about 30,000 deaths annually as a result of gun violence, and it is mostly young people who are frustrated, who are angry about something. In our case, we are seeing arson. Why young people are angry? Is it a failure to control their anger? Is it what exactly?
Yes, it is very difficult for young people to control anger. They don't yet have the skill, especially adolescents. Adolescence is a period of emotional turmoil, and you need guidance. You don't yet have the capacity to manage these unpleasant emotions. The skill develops as you get older. So teachers need to pay attention, parents need to pay attention, head teachers need to keep their teachers up to the challenges by continuous training.
Okay, in 1 minute as we wrap this up, what do you tell people? Because I want to believe there's a lot of trauma that especially the fellow students are going through. This has been done, at least the information that we have, by their fellow students, and they've got to now keep in the school study. They're struggling with this. The parents, the administration, and they've got to deal with this. How do they get to deal with this and overcome it?
I think they need quite some external help. The ministry and the school administration must avail counseling, that is interventions before students completely crumble, because more psychological problems will be registered after witnessing the death of their colleagues, and a sense of insecurity for them as well.
All right, Dr. Paul Nyende, thank you for sharing your insights.
You're welcome.